Ladies and gentlemen, I've got some good news, I suppose, because the police is actually doing their job, but I've also got some bad news. Once again, the Waterloo District School Board has made the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Now, I've done a delegation about this because the Waterloo District School Board constantly encourages sexual discussions among the minors, educators, and they're bringing in organizations to talk to the kids about sexuality, and they're all affirming each other. So obviously this is not good, and I've talked about it before. The Ontario Association of Children's Aid Services says sexual abuse includes a range of behaviors from obvious contact offenses such as touching or fondling genitalia to less obvious non-contact offenses such as exposure to sexually explicit material. Child sexual abuse and exploitation can occur when an older child, youth, or adult takes advantage of a younger child or youth for sexual purposes, including prostitution, pornographic performances, and the production of pornography. In Canada, sexual activity with a child under the age of 16 is a criminal offense regardless of the child's perceived consent. Now, this thing with conversations with children, as you know, the Waterloo District School Board has procedures in place regarding sexual orientation and gender identity. That means if the child decides to transition, and that's socially transition, for example, at school, they don't tell the parent. Now, if you know anything about child grooming, the first lesson you're taught is secrecy is the first step to child grooming. It's always, this is our little secret, don't let your parents know, your parents don't understand, etc. And I believe the Waterloo District School Board keeping the parents out of the conversation, what they're doing is they're sexualizing kids, and they're doing so by these constant conversations, constant books and materials and the lessons that they teach the kids. And I think this is having the opposite effect of what they're doing. I think because kids nowadays, they're always talking about their sexuality, you know, you don't really know who the real victim is. A while ago, when this wasn't so prevalent in the education system, kids would just chat with each other normally, and if a kid would say anything sexually, like, I have these sexual feelings or these experiences, that would be an immediate red flag. Something's happening to this kid. Maybe he's being abused at home, etc. Nowadays, because all the kids are talking about it and the school encourages these talks because they're empowered, etc., you can't differentiate between the kids who are actually abused and the kids just having a normal conversation. So this means that people who abuse can get away with things and take advantage of the kids. Now, what happened at the Waterloo District School Board with this principal? So there's a news article that went. So Waterloo Elementary School principal charged in online sexual exploitation investigation. I'm going to link this article below so you can read it. So Phillip Sallewsky, a 55-year-old man from Kitchener, faces 17 charges. He's a principal of Northlake Woods Public School. So let's have a look at these charges. The charges include 5 counts of luring a person under 16 of age by means of telecommunication, 2 counts of invitation to sexual touching under 16 years of age, sexual assault, sexual interference with a person under 16 years of age, luring a person under 16 of age by means of telecommunication, 3 counts of transmit sexually explicit material to a person under 16 years of age, luring a person under 18 years of age by means of telecommunication, print, publish, possesses to publish child pornography, import, sell, distribute, etc. child pornography, unlawfully possess child pornography. No one had physical injuries in connection to the investigation. So, like I said before, I had a delegation just on March 20th, actually, asking the school board why they encourage this kind of behavior. And by this kind of behavior, I mean the constant communication of sexuality, focused things and books and materials So they have these books, and I've talked about it in the library, with obscene sexual scenes. As a parent, it is my duty, when the school has books or movies that contain these obscene pornographic materials, I need to go and investigate. And sure enough, I've done that, and turns out that these scenes are in what they consider children's books. Now, you don't need to see an entire movie or read an entire book if you know that there's scenes of extreme sexuality or violence that's probably not age appropriate. So what is the school board doing? Well, they seem to be approving these kind of books, and somebody deems them acceptable. Now, they have this entire system, and I don't know how many people are approving these books, but it seems like books with images, books with these scenes are appropriate. As a matter of fact, if you know Carolyn Berjowski, she got canceled for bringing up these books about minors disclosing their sexuality to each other in school clubs, and books trivializing the transition of children. Now, of course, when you transition children, especially without their parental consent, you put them on puberty blockers, you put them down this road, right? The puberty blockers, mutilation of genitals. This has physical and psychological ramifications that last a lifetime. This is not empowering. This is the opposite of empowering. This is confusion and destruction. So I'm happy to see that the police is doing their job. Unfortunately, I believe there's probably a lot more people who are having these kinds of conversations with kids under 16. If you were at a park or anywhere else and somebody would say, "Excuse me, little kid, what is your sexual orientation?" you would probably say, "None of your business," and that person needs to go straight to jail for having conversations. Somehow this stuff is accepted in the school system. I say no more, and I think parents need to stand up and stop this. You need to come out, you need to tell the school board, you need to take it up to the Ministry of Education and let them know something needs to be done, because this kind of behavior is completely unacceptable. Happy to see the police doing their work. It's unfortunate that incidents like this happen, but of course, I hope that no kid suffers like this and no kids gets exploited. And of course, this is why I speak out at the school board against what they are doing. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right to have sexual conversations with minors. I don't think it's right to make content available to minors that have explicit sexual material, pictures, texts, and whatnot. And I don't think it's right to do this without the parents' consent as well. And to transition kids, like I said, before they even have a chance to start a family, these puberty blockers could sterilize the kids, genital mutilation. I don't need to tell you that. Have a look at the other videos that I've done. I'm going to link my delegation below so you can get more details. I really appreciate it if you made it this far in the video. Please feel free to share the video, as my videos are heavily censored for the things that I say, and I think that it's important for parents to know exactly what is happening in our school system. Until next time, take care.